Elon Musk has been in a lot of controversy lately, but one has really taken a toll on him, and it seems like he's really having a mental breakdown right now. In a new series that I'm gonna call something like Media Literacy Analysis, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what you need to know for this, the interview he gave at the DealBook Institute. It's really incredibly wild, and there are two things that really show us that Elon Musk is at the deep end right now. And I will help you understand parts of the interview and walk you through certain elements that really blew my mind once I was made aware of them. So first, I want to go over the controversy that the interviewer is going to be talking about. A couple weeks ago, Elon Musk replied to a post on Twitter that was incredibly anti-Semitic. It was saying we should not care about anti-Semitism because Jewish people are the ones making everyone hate white people. And he replied to this, "You have said the actual truth." So what this led to is a lot of companies pulling their advertising away from Twitter. They're not advertising on Twitter, which is causing Twitter to lose a lot of money. So he was invited to the DealBook Summit. DealBook, basically, as I understand it, it's a branch of the New York Times that just talks about finance and stocks. And I want to see this exchange and just focus on how unhinged he seems and how unfocused he seems and away from the entire situation.
No, actually, what this advertising boycott is going to do, it's going to kill the company.
And do you think that
and the whole world will know that those advertisers killed the company, and we will document it in great detail.
So you might not realize this, but there is an audience. There is an audience watching him, and it's almost like a skit. You can hear people coughing in the background. This is insane. This looks like a psychotic break. He's really fidgety. As you're gonna see, he's not engaging with the question of the interviewer. And Elon Musk has always been weird in interviews, but as we're gonna see, his behavior is really unhinged, especially with what he's gonna say. So notice that he's saying advertisers are gonna kill the company. This is important because basically the interviewer is gonna ask him about the controversy, and notice how he does not change his answer.
But those advertisers, I imagine, are gonna say, we didn't kill the company.
Oh yeah?
They're gonna say...
Tell it to Earth.
But they're gonna say that...
So what just happened? The interviewer, who's, by the way, not antagonistic towards Elon Musk, at the beginning of the interview, he says he met Musk twice. This is the second time, and the first time he met him, he thought he was the next Steve Jobs. He's gonna try to save him throughout this interview. And right here, what he's doing is Elon Musk is saying the advertisers putting out are gonna kill the company. It's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. And the interview is saying, well, what would you say to the people who say the advertisers would simply reply that they don't want to be affiliated to a company managed by someone who replies to neo-Nazis, you know? He's saying the companies think of Twitter as a liability. They don't want to advertise on it, which the free market, that's fine. Listen to what he says.
They're going to say, Elon, that you killed the company because you said these things and that they were inappropriate things, and that they didn't feel comfortable on the platform, right? That's what they're going to say.
And let's see how Earth responds to that.
So first, the ego on this man to reply, let's see what Earth replies. But okay, his answer is, I will be on the right side of history. It will be their fault that a big platform is lost. Kind of insane, because the companies are actually justified in pulling out. This time, it makes sense. But listen to how he continues to talk about this.
So this goes back to...
We'll both make our cases,
right,
and we'll see what the outcome is.
What are the economics of that for you? I mean, you have enormous resources, so you can actually keep this company going for a very long time. Would you keep it going for a long time?
So what is this question? This is, what is your business plan? What the interviewer is asking is the business plan for Twitter, because Elon Musk is answering with his ego. He's answering personally. He's taking it personally. But the interviewer is saying, okay, I get it. You think you're in the right. and they're in the wrong. But what is Twitter's business plan? Because Twitter relies on advertising. What is your business plan? Watch what Elon Musk says.
If there was no advertising?
I mean, if the company fails because of an advertiser boycott, it will fail because of an advertiser boycott. And that will be what bankrupted the company, and that's what everybody on Earth will know.
What do you think then of the, this goes back to the idea of trust, though.
Then it'll be gone.
So you can see the interviewer is getting frustrated because he's repeating the same thing. It gets worse.
And it'll be gone because of an advertiser boycott.
But you recognize that some of those people are going to say that they didn't feel comfortable on the platform. And I just wonder and ask you and think about that for a second.
Tell it to the judge.
So what I didn't tell you is free market, free speech Elon Musk tried to basically sue the companies who took their advertising off of Twitter. Again, Elon Musk was for the free market when companies decided, I just don't want to advertise on Twitter, which is the free market talking. He decided to sue them because they have to advertise on Twitter. But again, the interviewer is trying to save him. He's being unhinged, but the interviewer is trying to save him and say, okay, but what is a reasonable response? What's your business plan? Let's keep watching.
But the judge is going to be...
the judge is the public.
And you think that the public is going to say that Disney is making a mistake?
Yes.
And they're going to boycott Disney?
They already are.
Well...
Okay, so what we're seeing is he's not really making any sense. He's like interrupting the interviewer. He's repeating the same thing over and over. The interviewer is asking things like what an investor would like to know. And Elon Musk is replying just very personally in a very, very strange way. So here he's going to be asked about the controversy that happened, where, again, he replied to a neo-Nazi affirmatively. And I want you to just listen to what he says and how he acts.
What was that trip like? And obviously, you know that there's a public perception that, and you're clarifying this now, but there's a public perception that that was part of a apology tour, if you will, that this had been said online.
So the interviewer is saying, it seems like you're trying to apologize right now, basically.
There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself.
That is insane. That is insane. So what happened is, again, free market. Twitter owner Elon Musk replied to a neo-Nazi, and following what happened with Media Matters that showed that there's a lot of Nazis on Twitter and it's not a mistake, a company said, that's enough, we're pulling out, including Disney. The interviewer is asking, are you apologizing? He's saying no. And he's not just saying no, he's acting like companies pulling out their advertisements is blackmailing him with money, which, again, makes no sense. He's completely in a psychotic break right now. Again, this is like a really important summit, but just keep listening. So he said, F you, Bob Iger, which is the CEO of Disney. And this is not something you do. You don't say F you to the CEO of Disney because he doesn't want to advertise on your platform anymore. This is not how you're supposed to act as the owner of a platform. Just keep watching.
But...
Oh yeah, did you hear that? The audience is really uncomfortable. You can hear like the little murmurs and like whispering and shuffling in their seat of the audience, like what is going on? What the hell is going on? How are we supposed to react? Just watch.
Go yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is.
The audience is not laughing with Elon Musk. They're laughing because it's really uncomfortable. Because if they were laughing with Elon Musk and they were like, oh yeah, this is really brave of him to say that, they would have applauded. They would have laughed and applauded like, oh yes. They're not. They're just laughing and complete silence afterwards.
Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
Well, let me ask you then.
That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
how do you think then about the economics of X? If part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift, maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. If you believe that this is the one part of your business where you will be beholden to those who have this view, what do you do?
Why?
I understand that, but there's a reality too.
So if you didn't catch that, he said, okay, but what do you say to advertisers who pulled out because they didn't feel like they could advertise on your platform? And he just replies, GFY, go f yourself. He's having a psychotic episode. If you watch, he's like moving, jerking around. And as we're gonna see, there's like one thing that just shows that he's having a mental breakdown unequivocally. But his behavior is weird, right? And he's cutting off the interviewer to repeat the same things over and over. And the things he's saying is to say to the CEO of Disney to go F himself at the DealBook Summit, which is like a financial summit. Like, this entire situation is insane. And
yes, no.
The interviewer just keeps trying to save him, and he's just not taking the bait.
I mean, Linda Yaccarino's right here, and she's got to sell advertising.
And he's saying, like, your CEO is right here. He's such a liability that another person got appointed as CEO. The CEO is right there in the room, and he just keeps saying this insane shit. And let's just keep watching.
Absolutely. So, totally. No. Actually, what this advertising boycott is going to do is it's going to kill the company.
Language. And so
do you think that
it's going to kill the company? But just so you understand, like, this is not something that you do. You do not just say, F you, Bob Iger, because you don't want to advertise on my platform. But the dead giveaway, basically the main thing that really gives away that this is a mental breakdown. Oh yeah, this really funny thing. He called the guy by the wrong name. Like, let's listen.
Well, certainly not pander. And Jonathan, like, the only reason I'm here is because you were a friend. Like, what was my speaking fee?
You're not making any. First of all, I'm Andrew, but.
So he's saying, if you didn't catch that, he's saying you're not making any sense. Also, my name's not Jonathan, it's Andrew. And he called him a friend. And so, like, this is just this situation. Like, he says we're friends. He gives the wrong name, but this is insane. So you're looking at a patch of unshaven beard, and you might be thinking, Robin, have you lost your goddamn mind? He didn't shave a patch of beard, and that just shows he's having a mental breakdown. Okay, there's two main reasons why, yes, it absolutely does. The individual reason and the collective reason. The individual reason is Elon Musk has been shaving for 60 goddamn years. 60 years. So you might not be a man, or you might not shave, or you might be a woman, I don't know, but if you shave, it's muscle memory. If you shave, you do not miss a patch of hair like this, especially if you've been shaving for 60 years. On top of this, he's not going to buy like tomatoes at the store. He's going to a financial summit after he majorly fucked up on his social media platform, and advertisers are pulling out. This is incredibly important. You do not want to have a patch of beard at an event like this. And again, it's muscle memory. If at 60 you're missing patches of hair after having shaved every single day or at least once a week, this is already just by itself showing that something's going on. Whether it's a mental breakdown or a psychotic episode, something is going on. But on top of this, it's not an individual fault. He must have shooed people away because there's a makeup team. This is like a televised event, and televised events have people whose whole job is to make sure that you look good. If someone was in charge of making you look good and they forgot a patch of beard like this, you're fired. instantly. Like, this could cost someone's job. I don't think someone forgot a patch of beard on Elon Musk. I think it's worse than that. I think he shooed them away. I think he got approached by a team of the makeup team that's supposed to look over him, put makeup on him, make sure he looks good, and he just shooed them away. Because if you are supposed to walk on stage to a televised event and this is on your chin, like right here, alerts should be blaring all around you to get this off of your face. Because if you want to show someone having a mental breakdown, like, this is what you would show. You would show someone who's like not really shaved really well, has patches all over them. If it was down to individual choices, if it was down to, oh, he just didn't shave because he like made a mistake, this is already a case for concern. Because I have a job interview like next week. I'm way younger than him. If I went there with just a patchy beard like this, it's a cause for concern. He's 60. He's been shaving for longer than I have. This is really unacceptable and shows like some kind of mental damage, because again, it's muscle memory. But considering that he absolutely had a team of people that needed to make sure he looked good, he must have pushed them away. Because you never see like presidents or important people like this. You never see them like this. Why? Because they have teams that take care of that. And for him to show himself like this on TV after a major fuck up, after he needs to clean his image, to look this insane, really shows that he must be having a mental breakdown, because it is not normal. If this was helpful in any way, don't hesitate to drop a like. Let me know in the comments if this is something you want to see more of. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you later.